Unearth the chilling mysteries of 17 terrifying statues that moved by themselves, where the boundaries between myth and reality blur. From ancient secrets whispered by long-lost civilizations to inexplicable movements that defy explanation, each statue tells a haunting tale of its own. Join us on a journey through time and myth as we delve into these eerie relics, uncovering stories that challenge our understanding of the past and the supernatural. Number 17. Holy Christ of Saltillo. In the heart of Saltillo, Mexico, a city known for its colonial architecture and vibrant culture, stands a statue that has sent shivers down the spines of believers and skeptics alike. The Holy Christ of Saltillo, a seemingly ordinary religious figure, became the center of an extraordinary phenomenon that captured global attention. A video went viral and quickly took over social media. That was the start of it all. Incredibly, the video captured the statue's eyes opening and closing as though it had suddenly come to life. Some were left in awe, some falling to their knees in prayer, while others watched in disbelief. As the video circulated, it sparked intense debate. Many viewed it as a divine miracle, a sign from above in these troubled times. Others, however, approached the incident with a more critical eye. Upon closer inspection, eagle-eyed viewers noticed subtle signs of manipulation in the footage. Despite the controversy, the Holy Christ of Saltillo became an overnight sensation. Pilgrims flocked to the church, hoping to witness the statue's uncanny movement for themselves. The local community was thrust into the spotlight, grappling with the sudden influx of visitors and media attention. Number 16. Blinking Buddha. In the serene halls of a Thai temple, an ancient Buddha statue has been causing quite a stir. Known simply as the Blinking Buddha, this centuries-old figure has been reportedly caught in the act of doing something statues just shouldn't do, opening and closing its eyes. Visitors to the temple have been left stunned as they witnessed what appeared to be the statue's eyelids moving. It's not just a one-time occurrence either. Multiple accounts have surfaced over the years, each describing the same eerie phenomenon. Local monks who have long tended to the statue are divided in their opinions. Some view it as a divine sign, a blessing bestowed upon their temple. Others, more cautious in their approach, suggest that it might be an optical illusion caused by shifting light or the statue's unique craftsmanship. As word spread, the Blinking Buddha became a sensation. With cameras ready to record this mysterious phenomenon, pilgrims and tourists alike descended upon the temple. Pictures and videos of the statue appearing to be in mid-blink went viral on social media. Skeptics have their theories, of course. From carefully orchestrated pranks to sophisticated animatronics, explanations abound. Yet none have been conclusively proven, leaving the Blinking Buddha's secret intact. Number 15. Our Lady of Guadalupe statue in New Mexico. A statue that has become the talk of the town is tucked away in Santa Fe, New Mexico's historic streets. The Our Lady of Guadalupe statue, housed in a centuries-old shrine, has been turning heads. Quite literally. This isn't just any ordinary statue. It's been a cornerstone of Santa Fe's spiritual landscape since the late 1700s, when devoted locals built the Santuario at the intersection of Agua Fria and South Guadalupe streets. For generations, it stood as a silent guardian, watching over the faithful who came to pay their respects. But recently, something extraordinary happened. Visitors began reporting strange occurrences. Some swear they've seen the statue's eyes move, following them as they walk by. Others claim to have witnessed tears forming and rolling down the statue's cheeks. These reports have transformed this quiet corner of Santa Fe into a hotspot of activity. Skeptics and believers alike have flocked to the shrine, hoping to witness the phenomenon for themselves. Local news crews have set up camp, their cameras trained on the statue day and night. The church officials are understandably overwhelmed. They're fielding calls from around the world as the story of the moving statue spreads like wildfire across social media and news outlets. Experts have been called in to examine the statue. Some suggest it could be an optical illusion caused by the play of light on the statue's carefully crafted features. Others propose more supernatural explanations.
Number 14. Statue of Sai Baba. In the bustling town of Shirdi, India, a statue has been causing quite a stir among devotees and skeptics alike. This isn't just any statue. It's the revered figure of Sai Baba, a spiritual leader who's captured the hearts of millions across the globe. Crafted from pristine Italian marble by the skilled hands of Balaji Vasant, this masterpiece was unveiled on October 7, 1954. It sits regally on a throne just behind the Samadhi, Sai Baba's final resting place, drawing countless pilgrims each year. But lately, this silent sentinel has been anything but still. Visitors have reported witnessing the unthinkable, the statue appearing to breathe, its chest rising and falling ever so slightly. Some claim to have seen its eyes blink, while others swear they've caught a glimpse of a subtle smile playing across its lips. As word spread, the normally serene shrine turned into a hotbed of activity. Devotees flocked in droves, hoping to witness this miraculous phenomenon for themselves. Videos began circulating on social media, each one claiming to capture the statue's movements, sending shockwaves through the online community. Local authorities found themselves in a predicament. How does one investigate a moving statue? Scientists and paranormal experts were called in, armed with high-tech equipment to monitor the figure day and night. The debate rages on. Is it a divine manifestation? An optical illusion caused the finely carved marble? Or perhaps a testament to the power of collective belief?
Number 13.
Egyptian statue. A relic from ancient Egypt has been making quite a stir in the hallowed halls of the Manchester Museum. This 4,000-year-old statue appears to have a mind of its own. It is not your typical museum exhibit. This mysterious figure, called a Ka statue, was made by the ancient Egyptians to hold the life force or spirit of the departed. Their belief in the afterlife is merely one piece of a complicated puzzle. The Egyptians thought a person was composed of 5 elements: the physical body, the name, the personality, the shadow, and the Ka, the life force that this statue was meant to cradle. But recently, this ancient guardian has been doing more than just standing still. Museum staff were bewildered when they noticed the statue had somehow turned 180 degrees in its sealed display case, without any signs of human interference. As news of the rotating relic spread, it sparked a media frenzy. Egyptologists, paranormal investigators, and curious onlookers flocked to the museum, all eager to catch a glimpse of this seemingly sentient statue. Some speculated that the spirit of the deceased had indeed returned to inhabit the Ka statue, fulfilling its ancient purpose in a most unexpected way. Others proposed more scientific explanations, suggesting imperceptible vibrations from foot traffic or nearby machinery could be causing the slow rotation.
Number 12.
Statue of Christ moves its head. Something happened in a little church nestled in a sleepy town in New Mexico that rocked the foundations of both skepticism and faith. A statue of Jesus Christ, long a centerpiece of worship and contemplation, suddenly became the focus of a bizarre and chilling phenomenon. It all started on an ordinary Sunday morning. As parishioners filed in for the weekly service, whispers began to circulate. Something was different about the Christ statue. At first, people dismissed it as a trick of the light or their own overactive imaginations. But as the day wore on, the whispers grew louder, and the impossible became undeniable. The statue of Jesus was moving its head, not in grand, sweeping motions, but in subtle, almost imperceptible shift. A slight tilt to the left, a gentle nod, and a slow turn to the right. These movements were so subtle that they might have gone unnoticed if not for the keen eye of a young altar boy who first spotted the change. As word spread, the church became a hotbed of activity. Believers flocked to witness what they saw as a divine miracle, while skeptics arrived armed with cameras and scientific equipment, determined to debunk what they perceived as an elaborate hoax. The local news caught wind of the story, and soon the national media descended upon the small town. Amateur videographers and professional camera crews alike trained their lenses on the statue, hoping to capture irrefutable evidence of the supernatural event. And then it happened. In full view of a packed church and rolling cameras, the statue's head moved. The footage, grainy and shaky as it was, clearly showed the statue's face turning towards the congregation, its eyes seeming to scan the awestruck crowd. The video went viral within hours. Social media exploded with theories ranging from divine intervention to sophisticated robotics. Religious leaders called for calm and reflection, while scientists demanded access to the statue for a thorough examination.
Number 11. Crone of the Catskills. Amidst the mystique and folklore of the Catskill Mountains of New York, there is a discovery that is blurring the lines between traditional beliefs and modern technology. Meet the Crone of the Catskills, a statue that's as enigmatic as it is unsettling. This peculiar figure was unearthed in a remote cave, hidden away from prying eyes for who knows how long. At first glance, it might seem like just another archaeological find, but the crone is anything but ordinary. Local hikers first stumbled upon the statue during an off-trail expedition. They reported an eerie feeling, as if the statue's hollow eyes were following their every move. But that was just the beginning of Crone's strange saga. As news of the discovery spread, paranormal enthusiasts flocked to the area armed with EMF detectors and night vision cameras. They weren't disappointed. Reports of unexplained phenomena began to surface. Whispers echoing through empty caves, shadows moving against the wind, and most disturbingly, claims that the statue itself was changing positions between visits. Enter a team of tech-savvy researchers who decided to apply 21st century solutions to this ancient mystery. Using advanced 3D scanning technology, they created a perfect digital replica of the crone. Their plan was to monitor any changes in the statue's position or appearance over time. What they discovered sent shockwaves through both the scientific and paranormal communities. The 3D scans, taken weeks apart, showed minute but undeniable changes in the statue's posture and expression. It was as if the crone was slowly coming to life, one imperceptible movement at a time. Theories abound about the nature of the crone. Some claim it's an ancient relic imbued with supernatural powers. Others suggest it might be an elaborate hoax using sophisticated robotics to create the illusion of movement. And then there are those who believe the statue is a gateway between our world and something else.
Number 10.
The Curse of Snow White. Behind one of Disneyland's most popular attractions is a sinister secret that lies deep within the magical realm where dreams come true. The Snow White's Scary Adventures ride, a staple of the park since its opening in 1955, harbors a chilling mystery that has left both staff and visitors spooked for decades. At the center of this eerie tale is the statue of the Evil Queen, positioned menacingly at the ride's entrance. While thousands of guests pass by her daily, few are aware of the whispers that circulate among park employees about her uncanny ability to move. It began with subtle occurrences, maintenance workers swearing they'd left her in one position only to find her slightly turned the next morning. Security footage revealed nothing, yet the phenomenon persisted. As the years went by, the reports became more frequent and increasingly unsettling. Cast members began to report feelings of being watched when alone near the statue. Some even claimed to have seen her eyes following them as they walked by. The most chilling accounts, however, came from night shift workers who swore they'd seen the Queen's arm raise, her stone fingers curling as if casting a spell. Disney officials have remained tight-lipped about these occurrences, dismissing them as urban legends or overactive imaginations. Yet they can't explain the numerous photographs submitted by guests showing the Queen in varying poses, all taken on the same day. Paranormal investigators have begged for access to conduct studies, but the Mouse House keeps its secrets closely guarded. Some theorize that Walt Disney himself, known for his fascination with the supernatural, might have imbued the statue with something more than just artistic flair. Whether it's an elaborate illusion, a testament to Disney's cutting-edge animatronics, or something far more sinister, the moving Queen statue continues to add an extra layer of spine-tingling excitement to the happiest place on Earth. Number 9. Goddess Kali's statue blinks its eyes. In the bustling city of Kolkata, India, a statue of the fierce goddess Kali has been causing quite the uproar. Known for her intense gaze and formidable presence, this particular representation of Kali has taken things to a whole new level. It all started on a sweltering summer evening during a crowded festival. As devotees gathered to pay their respects, a collective gasp rippled through the crowd. Those nearest to the statue swore they saw Kali's eyes blink, not once, but several times. Temple officials initially wrote off the reports as mass hysteria or possibly a hoax caused by the oil lamps flickering. However, as the days went by, an increasing number of guests reported seeing the same thing. Amateur videos began circulating on social media, each one seemingly capturing the statue's eyelids moving in a slow, deliberate manner. The news spread like wildfire, drawing curious onlookers and devout pilgrims from across the country. Scientists and skeptics flocked to the temple armed with high-tech equipment to debunk what they assumed was an elaborate hoax, but their investigations only deepened the mystery. Thermal cameras detected no heat signatures, indicative of hidden mechanisms. Structural analyses revealed no hollow spaces where animatronics could be concealed. The statue, by all scientific measures, was just that, a solid, immobile statue. Yet the reports kept coming. Some claimed to have seen tears forming in Kali's eyes. Others reported a subtle change in her expression from fierce to almost benevolent. As the phenomenon gained international attention, it sparked intense debates about faith, science, and the nature of reality itself. Some saw it as a divine sign, a call to spiritual awakening. Others viewed it as a fascinating case study in mass delusion and the power of suggestion.
Number 8. Guanyin opens and closes its eyes. On the tranquil grounds of Lingquan Temple in China, an extraordinary event has been unfolding that's left both locals and tourists utterly spellbound. The central figure of this phenomenon? A statue of Guanyin, the revered bodhisattva of compassion, whose stone eyes have apparently decided to defy the laws of nature. Witnesses claim to have seen the impossible, the statue's eyes slowly opening and closing as if Guanyin herself had awakened from a centuries-long slumber. What began as hushed whispers among a few devout visitors quickly escalated into a full-blown sensation, drawing crowds from across the globe. A fascinating conflict between scientific skepticism and spiritual belief arose as word of the blinking Guanyin spread. For devotees, it is a sign from God, a unique occasion when the barrier between the material and spiritual worlds becomes thinner. Meanwhile, rationalists scramble for logical explanations, from clever lighting tricks to the effects of weathering on the ancient stone. The temple, once a quiet place of reflection, has transformed into a hub of activity. Pilgrims flock in droves, hoping to witness the miracle for themselves. Social media has exploded with grainy videos and eyewitness accounts, each claiming to capture the statue mid-blink. The phenomenon has even caught the attention of international news outlets, thrusting this once obscure temple into the global spotlight. The local authorities find themselves in uncharted territory, struggling to balance the influx of visitors with the preservation of the site's spiritual significance. They've had to implement crowd control measures, much to the chagrin of those hoping for an up-close encounter with the awakened Guanyin.
Number 7. Statue of Angel opens its eyes. At Lingquan Temple, an otherworldly occurrence has been sending shivers down the spines of visitors and challenging the boundaries of belief. The center of attention, a seemingly ordinary statue of an angel that's been exhibiting some very extraordinary behavior. It all started during a routine prayer session. As the faithful bowed their heads in quiet contemplation, a collective gasp rippled through the crowd. Those nearest to the angel statue swore they saw its eyes slowly opening as if awakening from a stone slumber. At first, temple officials dismissed it as a trick of the light or overactive imaginations, but as days passed and reports continued to pour in, they couldn't ignore the mounting evidence. Video after video surfaced online, each one seeming to capture the statue's eyes, moving in sync with the prayers being offered. Word quickly went viral, placing Lingquan Temple at the center of a spiritual phenomenon. Seeking to see the miracle for themselves, pilgrims came from all over. Equipped with advanced technology, scientists and skeptics also invaded the temple to disprove their theory that it was all a sophisticated hoax. But their investigations only deepened the mystery. No hidden mechanisms were found, and no projectors or holographic trickery was detected. The statue, by all scientific measures, was just that, a solid, inanimate object. Yet the reports kept coming. Some claimed to have seen tears forming in the angel's eyes. Others reported a subtle change in its expression, from serene to almost sorrowful. As the phenomenon gained international attention, it sparked intense debates about faith, science, and the nature of reality itself. Some saw it as a divine sign, a call to spiritual awakening. Others viewed it as a fascinating case study in mass delusion and the power of suggestion. The local authorities found themselves overwhelmed, struggling to manage the influx of visitors while maintaining the sanctity of the temple. The angel statue became a sensation, featured in documentaries, and discussed on late-night talk shows around the globe. Number 6. Weeping Mary. An image of the Virgin Mary in the serene nooks of Lingquan Temple has sparked intense feelings and debate. It is known as the Weeping Mary, and for good reason. This is not your average religious icon. It all began on a seemingly ordinary day when a young novice noticed something unusual while cleaning the chapel. Glistening droplets were trailing down the statue's serene face. At first he thought it was just condensation, but as he moved closer he realized the impossible. The statue was shedding tears. Word spread like wildfire through the temple and beyond. Soon, crowds were gathering, hoping to witness this miraculous event for themselves. Some came out of curiosity, others were driven by deep faith, all of them left profoundly affected. As news of the Weeping Mary reached the outside world, it sparked a media frenzy. Local news crews camped outside the temple gates, while social media exploded with videos and photos, each claiming to capture the statue in the act of crying. The phenomenon divided opinion. Believers saw it as a divine sign, a call to repentance or a symbol of Mary's sorrow for the world's suffering. Skeptics argued for scientific explanations. Everything from humidity and porous stones to elaborate hoaxes was suggested. Church officials approached the situation with caution, neither confirming nor denying the miracle. They called for thorough investigations, bringing in experts to examine the statue and analyze the mysterious liquid. Something unexpected transpired during the heated debate. A source of compassion was the Weeping Mary. Visitors, moved by the sight, began sharing their own sorrows and hopes. Relatives consoled one another, long-standing grudges were forgotten, and the temple turned into a healing place.
Number 5.
Island Virgin Mary. Off the beaten path on a small, unassuming island that barely registers on most maps, a phenomenon has been unfolding that's captured the imagination of believers and skeptics alike. Welcome to the domain of the Island Virgin Mary, where the line between the physical and spiritual worlds seems to blur in the most extraordinary way. It all began with a group of fishermen who swore they saw a glowing figure hovering above the island's rocky shore. At first, their tale was dismissed as a trick of the light or maybe one too many swigs of rum. But as days passed, more sightings were reported, each description eerily similar. A radiant woman in flowing robes, her arms outstretched in a gesture of comfort and protection. Word spread like wildfire, and soon the sleepy island found itself at the center of a spiritual maelstrom. Pilgrims began arriving by the boatload, crowding the island's lone pier and setting up makeshift camps along its shores. They came seeking miracles, healing, or simply a brush with the divine. But it wasn't just the apparition that drew people. Visitors reported a host of unexplainable occurrences. Statues of Mary on the island seemed to come to life, their stone eyes blinking or shedding tears. Rosaries transformed from dull plastic to gleaming gold. The sick claimed sudden healings, while others spoke of visions and prophetic dreams. As news of the Island Virgin Mary spread, it caught the attention of the wider world. Religious scholars debated the authenticity of the apparitions, while scientists scrambled for logical explanations. Local authorities found themselves overwhelmed, struggling to manage the influx of visitors while preserving the island's delicate ecosystem. The phenomenon sparked intense discussions about faith, miracles, and the nature of belief in the modern world. For some, the island Virgin Mary represented hope in troubled times, a tangible connection to the divine. For others, it was a fascinating case study in mass psychology and the power of suggestion. Despite investigations and scrutiny, the mystery of the island Virgin Mary remains unsolved. The apparitions continue, as does the stream of pilgrims seeking solace and inspiration. Whether a miracle or a mirage, this remote island has become a powerful symbol of faith's enduring ability to move mountains, or in this case, to bring a forgotten speck of land to the center of a spiritual revolution.
Number 4.
Nodding Jesus. Something happened in a modest church during what was supposed to be a serious Good Friday Mass that would rock both reason and faith to their core. As parishioners bowed their heads in quiet reflection, a collective gasp rippled through the congregation. When the impossible appeared to be happening, all eyes were focused on the life-size crucifix at the altar. The statue of Jesus, typically a silent sentinel of suffering and redemption, was moving. Not in grand, sweeping motions, but in subtle, almost imperceptible nods. The crown of thorns shifted slightly, shadows played across the face, and the head inclined forward as if acknowledging the faithful gathered before it. At first, there was a stunned silence, then a wave of emotion swept through the church. Awe, fear, wonder, and disbelief battled for supremacy. Some fell to their knees in fervent prayer, while others rubbed their eyes in disbelief, certain they were victims of some mass hallucination. The priest, caught between his role as spiritual leader and his own shock, struggled to maintain order. As whispers turned to excited chatter, he called for calm, urging the congregation to remain focused on the significance of the day. But the nodding Jesus, as it quickly became known, was not to be ignored. Cell phones emerged from pockets, and soon shaky videos of the phenomenon were spreading across social media like wildfire. The small church found itself thrust into the global spotlight, inundated with calls from news outlets, religious scholars, and curious onlookers. In the days that followed, theories abounded. Some saw it as a divine miracle, a sign of hope in troubled times. Others suggested more earthly explanations, from subtle seismic activity to an elaborate hoax. Scientists and skeptics descended on the church, armed with sensors and cameras, eager to debunk or authenticate the claims. The nodding Jesus sparked intense debates about faith, perception, and the nature of reality. It challenged believers to question the limits of their faith and skeptics to confront the boundaries of their disbelief.
Number 3. Giant wooden statue can move. Hikers who are not paying attention have been shivering in fear from a massive wooden figure that stands deep in a plain forest where fairy tales and reality collide. This isn't your average piece of driftwood. We're talking about a massive, intricately carved tree that seems to have a mind of its own. At first glance, it appears to be a stunning work of art. Its bark-like texture and leafy crown are a testament to the sculptor's skill. But those who linger too long begin to notice something off. The eyes, carved deep into the wooden face, seem to follow your movements. A trick of the light, surely. But then comes the moment that turns skeptics into believers. Without warning, the giant's mouth begins to move, its voice a deep creaking rumble that echoes through the woods. Hikers report hearing everything from ancient wisdom to modern-day jokes, leaving them questioning their sanity and the very nature of reality. It doesn't stop there. Witnesses swear they've seen the statue's massive limbs swaying in the absence of wind, branches reaching out as if trying to grab passers-by out. Some claim to have felt a gentle pat on the shoulder, only to turn and find no one there. Just the towering wooden figure, its expression seemingly more amusing than before. Local authorities are baffled. Investigations have turned up no hidden speakers or concealed machinery. Yet the reports keep coming in, each more incredible than the last. Some theorize it's an elaborate hoax, while others whisper about ancient forest spirits or cutting-edge AI gone rogue.
Number 2. Moving statue in Rameswaram. In the sacred coastal town of Rameswaram, India, where myth and reality intertwine like strands of DNA, a statue has been defying the laws of physics and stirring up a storm of controversy. We're talking about a figure that seems to have a will of its own. The statue in question resides within the hallowed halls of the Ramanatha Swami Temple, a site already steeped in legend. But even in this place of miracles, what's happening here stands out as truly extraordinary. Devotees have reported seeing the statue, a depiction of a Hindu deity, subtly shift its position. We're not talking about dramatic dance moves here, it's more like a slow, almost imperceptible change. A hand that was raised in blessing one day appears slightly lower the next. The tilt of the head, the angle of the feet, all seem to be in a state of constant creeping flux. Skeptics initially dismissed these claims as masked illusions, but then came the photographic evidence. Time-lapse footage captured over several weeks shows unmistakable changes in the statue's posture and positioning. And here's the kicker: no human hand can be seen intervening. Temple authorities are at a loss to explain the phenomenon. Some claim it's a divine manifestation, a sign from the gods themselves. Others whisper about ancient curses or hidden mechanisms. A team of geologists even suggested that subtle seismic activity might be causing the minute movements. But none of these explanations fully account for the eerie precision of the changes. It's as if the statue is deliberately posing, sending a message that no one can quite decipher. The moving statue of Rameswaram has become a pilgrimage site of a different sort. Paranormal investigators rub shoulders with religious scholars, all trying to unlock the secret of the stone figure that refuses to stand still. Number 1. Holy Oil Statue. A holy statue in the sleepy town of Tarshiha, which is tucked away next to the border with Lebanon, has become the center of attention in the Christian community and beyond. We are talking about a figure that appears to be defying the fundamental laws of nature, not your typical case of pareidolia or a weeping Madonna. The statue in question, a revered Christian icon, has developed a bizarre and inexplicable condition. It's not crying tears or bleeding, instead it's literally oozing oil. And we're not talking about a little dampness here. Witnesses describe the statue as completely covered with oil, as if it's perspiring from every pore of its stone surface. The local Christian family who first noticed this phenomenon is convinced they're in the presence of a genuine miracle. But here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't a one-time occurrence. The oil keeps coming day after day with no apparent source or explanation. Skeptics have been quick to suggest all sorts of rational explanations. Some argue it's a clever hoax, perhaps using hidden reservoirs or porous materials. Others point to potential natural causes like mineral seepage or condensation. But none of these theories seem to fully account for the sheer volume and consistency of the oil production. Religious leaders are treading carefully, neither confirming nor denying the miraculous nature of the event. Meanwhile, scientists who've examined the statue are left scratching their heads. The oil itself has been analyzed and found to be organic in nature, but its exact composition remains a mystery. The holy oil statue has quickly become a pilgrimage site, drawing believers from across the region and even internationally. Many claim the oil has healing properties, with reports of miraculous cures spreading almost as fast as the oil itself. But it's not just the faithful who are flocking to Tarshiha. Paranormal investigators, skeptics, and the simply curious are all converging on this small town, eager to witness the phenomenon for themselves. The result is a bizarre mix of religious fervor and scientific inquiry, all centered around a statue that refuses to stay dry. We are coming to an end here today. Thanks for watching. And for such top listing videos, subscribe to our channel.